Good evening. I'm Dagan McDowell.
I'm Brian Brenberg in for Sean Duffy. Welcome to The Bottom Line.
In today's world, you can be whatever you want to be. Born Joanna, but you want to be Joe? Not a problem. Really an elitist millionaire, but identify as Scranton Joe? Not a problem.
But you ain't fooling the American people. No matter how hard old Joe tries to be one with the center of the country, he's got rich, and lots of it, in his blood.
Rumor has it his $26 million fundraiser in New York was such a star-studded success, he's set to do it all again. Bill Clinton got the boot, but this time it'll be in Los Angeles with all the heavy hitters on the West Coast. Here's a little teaser of what you can expect.
Did you know that by pitching in the costs of a morning cup of Joe, you can help re-elect my friend Joe? Come on, man.
Just don't spill it on yourself.
No comment there. Back to the fundraiser. George Clooney and Julia Roberts are set to be there, but you probably won't see Lizzo at this one. She threw in the towel, quit the music industry after her performance at Biden's last bash.
And also not on the list, the backbone of America, as Joe Biden likes to call them, union workers, who right now are battling the burden of Bidenomics, who wouldn't go to Biden's fundraiser if they got the tickets for free.
Yeah, no, most guys support Trump because he does the right thing. You know, most guys are putting America first. You know, the illegals coming in, these are the guys that are taking our jobs for $10 an hour cash. They're not putting it back into the system. We are. People are tired of paying for high gas prices. The food's out the roof. The interest rates are so high, people can't afford to buy a house.
Yeah, I see it on the job. Everybody's got Trump stickers on their hard hats. And, I mean, they just see him as a passionate president for the country. Like, it's undeniable how much he cares about the country. It's not even a question. Because I know Joe Biden can't do that, just show up to a job site.
He can't, and he won't, because he's got better things to do, like attend the gridiron dinner. Only problem with that is it happened last month, and where he's actually going tomorrow night is the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
I'm doing the gridiron dinner on Saturday.
Right.
And one of the things, the serious thing I'm going to say at the gridiron dinner is that paraphrasing Jefferson, he said the choice between what we have and a free press, I'd pick a free press.
Damn right.
Well, guess what? The free press is not speaking up as much as it used to.
Nope.
And I don't know whether, I'm not sure, I haven't figured it out yet, but I think it's coming around. And I'm not blaming the press. I'm just saying that I think some of them are worried about attacking him.
You got it all wrong, pal. The stories in the press about struggling Americans trying to survive your administration are nothing but the cold, hard truth. Try listening up. Let's bring in Forbes Media Chairman and Editor-in-Chief, Steve Forbes. How do you see this? Well, I'm going to shut up and let you talk. Go.
Well, it's a disgrace that the president still goes out there, says everything is fine, and when people go to the supermarket, they go to the grocery store, they go to the gas station, and the thing is, these consumer price indexes don't include the interest that you pay on credit cards, on car loans, on mortgages. You put that in there, the real inflation rate for real people is 2 to 3 times what the official rate is. But they're oblivious to that, ignorant of it.
And not even that, but he's talking about much higher taxes on all the people paying that higher inflation, Steve. And yet I do hear some people still applauding at that line. What's going on with that?
Well, some people are slow. They need remedial education, school reform. But in that whole thing, in terms of what Biden has done, he says he's not going to tax anyone under $400,000. He's already doing it. It's called inflation. Right. Inflation is a hidden tax, like a hidden sales tax, up 20% since he took office. So, yeah, who's paying that? People are. And corporate taxes, who pays that? Customers do, right. Shareholders do, workers do in lower salaries. So the ignorance on economics, blaming everybody else but himself, not a good picture, which is why real people are going for the other side.
But if you look at what
I'm
he's
whispering like Biden.
yeah, exactly. If you look at what he's done to the American people, I brought this up yesterday, Bidenomics has actually hurt the many to enrich and bail out the few, his cronies, the overly educated.
The whole thing on the trillions, hundreds of billions of dollars he's spending on this green stuff, that's crony.
Right.
I don't even call it capitalism. That's crony politics. You get in, you get the money, and then the government tells you how to run your business.
It's actually economic fascism. It's straight from Mussolini. But what people don't know about Joe Biden is his daddy was wealthy at one point and kind of hooked up with a pseudo con artist and went broke. That's why he had to move back to Scranton. And there's been a fixation in that family with getting rich again, that Bo and Hunter, Joe used to drive around after church on Sundays and push them into houses that were empty but for sale, like mansions in Wilmington, Delaware. And it just kind of reveals what he's all about. He just wants to be with the rich people and everybody else, people hustling and hoofing.
So he's the original squatter.
Exactly.
Trying to be anyway.
But he doesn't relate to working men and women.
Not at all. But I want to talk about, neither does anybody in his administration. I want to drill in on the inflation a little bit more. The White House trying to rebrand inflation as shrinkflation, but that didn't work. So look at what they're leaning into now. Blameflation, and grocery stores are the targets. Listen to this.
When you look at incomes are growing faster than inflation, and when you look at food costs, those have also stabilized. And what we know to be true is that input costs are coming down. And one of the things the president's called on companies to do is to pass those cost decrease down, pass those cost decrease to the American people. And I've seen that myself in terms of grocery shopping. I've stopped going to the grocery shop by my house and gone to the one by my church because there you've seen prices come down. And what he's saying is that the American people shouldn't have to go to different grocery stores. All the grocery stores should pass on the lower cost of input costs to American consumers.
This is the line we're going to hear all the way to November. Why don't the businesses pass on the cost decreases? Steve, the main reason is because there are no cost decreases. That's not what's happening right now.
Well, everything. California's going on a binge of raising the minimum wage, $17, $20 an hour in these restaurants, fast food places. Guess what? Prices go up. Costs are going up. This thing is called scapegoating. Goes back to Roman times when they blamed Christians for inflation. Good for the lions, but not for inflation. In medieval times, they blame witches. So they're always looking for scapegoats for their own failures.
The talk about the junk fees is the same thing.
Right.
It's blaming the businesses. And Grover Norquist was talking about this yesterday. The American people are not stupid. The Biden administration and these idiots talk to the American people as if they are, but they know better. They understand how businesses work.
Well, and when he goes to a fellow from the Treasury Department, next time he goes to the grocery store, see what the price of eggs are. See the prices of some of these other things. They may come down, but then they also go up again. And no one has any faith. And one of the things that's going to hurt the economy in the future if we don't get a change is business investment, business-to-business activity is declining. That was hidden in that GDP report. But things are not looking good for the future. If you don't have investment, you don't get...
There's lots to think about here, but I want to kind of go big picture on this because they run into inflation, create inflation, and they always blame it on the businesses, and that's what kills prosperity in those societies.
And
what gets me here is we're doing the same thing right now.
It also kills what you might call social trust. It undermines trust with each other. You go back to the 1920s. Look at that German hyperinflation, which they blamed on Jewish merchants and bankers. And we see what that led to. So this kind of inflation undermines its acid in the body politique. And that's what they are feeding. They're trying to set people against people, bringing the worst out in people, blame this, blame that, and it's toxic. I think the American people are sick of it. They want to have a good future. They want to have faith in the future.
Right.
They're not getting that from this president.
I'd be okay if they lost faith in Joe Biden and all the people who work for him.
I think they've done that a long time ago.
That may be happening.
Steve Forbes, you're the best. Thank you so
you.
much. Have a wonderful weekend.
You too. Thank you.